Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Liz, and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode Skyblock. In the last episode, we were working on... Mostly, we did a little bit at the farm here. We made the Magnum Torch and some stuff that I will show you guys in just a moment. As well as we were working on automating IC2 advanced solar panels. And so today we are going to work on some more stuff, but before we do, I want to just kind of show off the farm and some of the issues we're going to be having. So first of all, as you can see, I've been working on getting the mushrooms planted, got a lot of the mycelium down and missed that guy, as well as that one. And mushrooms are growing for the most part. There's a few areas where they're not, and as we remove torches from down here, we'll be able to get more growing. This is also going to spawn in a bunch of bats, which is fine by me. I actually don't care too much about that. Now, once we enclose this area, which I have just enough stuff to do that, in fact, just a little bit more than we need, it's going to get very dark in here. Or at least it should. But it didn't. So, why is that? Well, mainly, we still have some holes to clear up. So first thing we need to do is we need to make a way to get down here, and I think an elevator works pretty well. Now I wonder, can I put a block there and still go through it? We can. Perfect. So the only other thing is we need some covers, and I forgot about that. I didn't think about that, but everything else down there is kind of finished. So as we get more dirt and fill in more dirt on all of these farms, we'll be able to extend everything we need. So all in all, we're getting close to having our farm completed. We have plenty of chili coming in, and in fact, way too much. We're overfilled, and that's fine by me. It doesn't actually matter too much. So, what's the big thing that we need to work on today? Well, we're going to work on automating the nuclear reactor and thus getting more UU matter. And we're going to do a couple things about that, but before we do anything else, let's get some covers. Do I care? Yeah, I do. So cobblestone. Let's see. It's these, and we need a structure pipe, I think. So let's get that structure pipe. I believe it's these. If we make one of these, we can then make is it like this? How do we make covers? This is gonna be a mistake, but searching cover, actually not really. Oh, it's a structural dock. Okay, fair enough. So we do this, and we'll get a couple of those, and everything will be fine. So we'll head back over there. I will kind of deal with that, getting more mycelium, and more mushrooms and all that kind of stuff growing over the course of time, and pretty much as I can get more dirt, we'll get more and more stuff. So that's kind of where we're at, but nothing should spawn under here, and it looks like that is in fact the case. So the Magnum Torch is doing exactly what we wanted it to do. All we need to do is get rid of the light, and to do that we're just going to place these guys like so. And that mostly works, but they still let light go in. So these guys cannot grow. Well then, the alternative to what we just did is we bring them out and underneath. That might work. So if we do something like this, the chest might still not work, but we can see. So let's just break these guys for a moment. And if we need to kind of bring more power, that's fine. But if I place those like there, everything can grow. Now it's not perfectly dark over here because there is a little bit of an entrance for light to come in. But what we can just do is pull down this stuff and bring it up. Same with this. Put a servo on it, ignored. And it'll look ugly, but kind of got to do what we got to do. And we can bring this up and over. And that will be pretty much it. So, yeah, so that will work. We just need to get power lines over here. And we'll go ahead and put one of these guys on there. Doesn't actually help. Unfortunately, the covers still let light through. But it's dark enough in there now that nothing will, like, we shouldn't have any problems. We can actually kind of encase all of that stuff and it will be a little bit better. So we might do that and kind of go from there. So the main thing that we're going to work on today is automating the nuclear reactors, and that should not be too bad. We're going to kind of mostly steal machines as we need them rather than making new ones, because I think that's going to be better. So we need redstone conduit, flux ducts, whatever. Let's get some more cobblestone. And I hate that this does this. Part of me wants to grow a different tree or something. I don't know. Anyways, just do that. And one last time we'll fly over. So we need to automate nuclear reactors. And how do we do that other than, you know, dealing with lag? Well, the easiest way is applied energistics. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to set up a system so that the applied energistics system knows how to make everything we need, and it should not be too bad. Now I hope I have enough flux ducts. So something like this will work just fine. And then what we can do is, because of the pipes is what's kind of letting light in, we can kind of just do one of these and prevent more light. That should make it slightly darker in there. So again, it looks ugly, but whatever. It is very dark in here. It's actually uniformly dark. We're going to get a ton of bats spawning in here, but that's fine too. So the mushroom farm is completed for now. Like I've said before, we will come back to it as I get more dirt. I will kind of add on to that, just kind of between episodes, off camera, all that kind of stuff. Something else I wanted to kind of mention is I am working on bees. I'm trying to get the industrious bees. That's the next bee I'm going to work on. I'm going to kind of forego everything else and just go straight to the industrious bees so that we can start trying to make an alveary. There we go. That's what they're called. So let's grab glass cable. Let's grab item ducts. And I made a bunch of interfaces as well. And we're going to need a few of these down here attached to this system. And normally I would do something like this. And I think I still will. But that's fine. If we need more, we can add them around the corners and sides and whatnot. But I need to clean up the applied logistics system a little bit. And then the last thing we're going to need is our pneumatic wrench, so that we don't lose any of our items. Alright, so what do we need to do? Let's think about what all this requires. So first of all, we probably want to be in our radiation suit so that we can kind of deal with all this stuff. Now, we're going to have a bunch of stuff. And I'm going to actually come over here. Now, can we take those out of that? Yes, we can. Okay, so we're going to clear out the inventory a little bit. Don't need much uranium. We're just going to use one. And we're going to just do stuff like this for the next little bit because we have way too much uranium. But I want to store it as just the uranium and not the blocks. So that's why we're doing this. And we're going to need to pretty much insert and export. Now, luckily that is going to be the easiest part of all of this. It'd probably be easier just to do this. And just continue doing that until we're out of uranium. So, apologies. I'm thinking there's a lot of things to do with this. So we're gonna want some uranium just to tell the system how to do things. Same with the crushed uranium ore. And we're going to be getting plutonium as well, which is nice. All this stuff we can just put back into the system. Doesn't really matter too much to me. And we have plenty of plutonium. That will get used later. So first thing we need to do is kind of talk about what all we need down here. So this guy is pretty much full. The compressor is pretty much full of stuff. So we're probably going to want yet another interface. And can't we do something like... Actually, how many channels are we using? So this goes all the way and pops up. Oh, it's a direct channel. Okay, cool. So we have plenty of channels. So we're using 2 channels over here. We're going to need a third. And that guy will probably be on a chest. So one thing we need to do... Nope, not that. We're going to have to break this block. And we're going to want an item duct here. And we'll just run this along. And we're going to want one for each of these guys as well. And this will just break that block and break this block. Now, why are we doing this? Well, it's pretty simple actually. These pipes will be responsible for getting rid of the depleted and inserting fresh fuel rods. So that's all that we need for that. We can just go ahead and bring these 2 down. And over here-ish. And that will be fine. So, how do we make the fuel rods? Well, to make these guys, we need 4 of these. And to make these guys, we need a canning machine. So let's just work backwards. So we need the canning machine. Now, before we hook this up to power, we need to... Let's actually go ahead and... How do we want to do this? How do I want to do this? So let's see. We're going to want the canning machine Let's just put it right there. We need to make sure it has its transformer upgrades before we attach it to anything. And this is going to be responsible for making the fuel rods. We can make plates and all that kind of stuff from other places. And then we're going to need the thermal centrifuge. And this guy can go, it doesn't really matter. But we need to put his transformer upgrade in there, as well as attaching a lever so that he remains on and heated. And then the last thing we're going to need is the ore washing, which I guess we should put like right next to it. So the ore washing, yeah, this guy. Let's charge up our electric wrench before we do anything else. And what else is taking water? Anything? Oh, this guy. Okay, so that's fine. We need to put him down here. Make sure he has his transformer upgrades. And this guy is going to require a little bit more, so we're going to break the block underneath him. For most of these guys, we can do input output such as like, so we're going to have an input underneath for him. And we're going to have outputs like this for these guys. As well as we are still going to need power. Did I do everything? How is that guy getting outputted? Is it underneath? Am I doing everything underneath? No. I guess he's getting it from the side. He's getting it directly. Okay, okay. Now this is going to be something weird. We have to put this into blocking mode. So we're going to tell it to only go upwards. And instead of these two blocks like so, we're going to put those underneath as well. So let's just fly underneath. And yeah, the only problem is the ore washing, which is going to require... maybe we should move it over one. You know what? That we can do that. So we'll do something like this. And canning machine. Make sure it gets its transformers. So this one requires 1, this one requires 2, this one requires 2. Alright, and now we're going to need some fluid ducts. I forgot about that. But otherwise, we should have pretty much everything we need for now. Now, we're going to have this guy on constantly as well. Until we can get more power options and whatnot. So we're going to need some fluid ducts. We can actually use the temperate, doesn't matter. Let's grab more servos. And we're going to want a crafting card. I should probably teach the system how to make those. So let's see. Crafting cards are basic cards plus a workbench. Where is it? There we go. So that should be easy enough. Alright, so we'll just throw these guys in here. And we're going to need a crafting card, so that should be really quick and easy to get. Now, we need to teach the system how to make a couple things. And since all of these are going to be processing, iron plates will give you one of these. And this will actually go into the metal former. So this machine. Now, I've already set it up so that I had to add a little bit more of a filter for this guy. But basically, this metal machine will extrude iron plates to give us the fuel rods. Now, I filtered this guy to be only glowstone because basically anything can go in there. And then this guy is a blacklist for that. So that's fine. We're going to need a chest. I want a cover as well, just to hide the ugliness. Luckily, we just made some covers. And we're going to need a chest. And we're going to just filter this. So the first step to everything is, let's go ahead and get everything set up down here. And this is going to go into a chest. That is then going to get, you know what, we can actually just disconnect that because it doesn't need to be connected. And then the chest is going to have a servo, always active. We need to run water down to this guy. Not quite how I imagined it, but I realized we don't need that anymore, which means we can actually put a block back. So there we go. This guy should have water now. We can actually hook these guys up to power at this point. Doesn't matter too much. And then we'll just go over top. Hopefully nothing explodes. We can make more of these machines if we need to, but I'd rather not. I'd rather not have to. So these guys should all be getting power. They're all powered up. Alright, so this guy is going to get two things. First of all, he's going to get a filter, whitelist, fuel rods. So if I put fuel rods in here, actually we can't do that yet. So we're going to want servos on the bottom of all these machines. And just kind of simple stuff. So servo, 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 and now we don't have to come back down here. And then all these guys are going to get filters for what they can get. So whitelist, hopefully these filters are enough. Whitelist. Alright, so the thermal centrifuge is going to get, okay, first of all, easiest one is going to be this guy. So crush uranium ore, whitelist. And then that will give us the washed uranium ore. So I'm trying to think of what's going to be the best way to do this. I think we're going to do it step by step. There is better ways. You can kind of skip steps around, but at the same time, I don't think that's wise. So crush uranium ore. Just come down here. And if we throw crushed uranium ore in there, it should immediately go to here. Oh, right. We need to filter this guy as well. We're going to have a whitelist. So crushed uranium ore should go here now. And it does. It gets processed. It's going to take a little bit of time. We can get speed upgrades and all that kind of stuff later. Let's see, let's get rid of this stuff. And it shouldn't have anywhere to go because this is a whitelist. And I would do this for all the different things, but we're gonna get purified crushed ore, and we should. How do we want to do that? Because we're gonna have a lot of byproducts coming out. So that gets us purified crushed ore, and then the purified crushed ore is going to get us, I believe it's 5 uses. Yes, 5 uranium-238 and 2 of the nuggets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, and 2 of those. And now we want to teach the system that that gives you that. Alright, so one of these is a crafting, and the rest are not. So what we're going to want to do is blacklist the crushed ore. We're going to need a better filter. Or we can do something else. In fact, I think that's going to be easier. So instead of having this here, we're going to disconnect that completely. And we're going to disconnect that line. We lost it. Oh well. And we're going to have all the outputs just go, we're going to have the outputs separate from the inputs. So we just put an impulse item duct right here, and this thing should clean out. And it does. Perfect. So the filter, we need to filter this for purified crushed. And we can go ahead and throw that in there, and it should start working. And it does. Perfect. So the next stage that we need to do is we need one of the fuel. So uranium, we need one of these enriched uranium fuels. Oh, I haven't put those in there yet. Right. Okay, so we'll just put these guys in here. And the system is smart enough that if it knows how to make something, it will make extras. Like basically, we have 2 piles of the tiny uranium. We can actually throw this stuff in here now. We can make one of these, and we can teach the system that this plus this equals this. And then all we have to do is come down here and tell this filter that it can take that as well. And then the last thing we need to do is teach the system how to make the completed uranium fuel cells. And that's about it, actually. So let's see, where is there? So we do that. And then the next thing is we teach the crafting recipe for this. So the fuel rod, the quad fuel rods, and can do that. So then that should work just fine. And then this is just a crafting recipe. I'm kind of thinking ahead of what's next. So we can throw all this stuff in here now. And what we want to do is we need to tell, we need to have another, could we just use this one? I mean, we could. I don't see why not. Let's do it. So we're going to have this guy connected to all of these. And we're going to get rid of that connection, that connection, that connection. And the reason being is we should be able to, because I don't think those cannot go in there, so it shouldn't do anything. And we can put a servo on this, and always active. And now we're going to need 2 more filters, and we can start working on getting the fuel rods out. So filters, doesn't really matter much to me. Actually, we need more servos too. Whoa, I don't want to make 1,000 of those. Just make 10. 10 is fine. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to extract and insert what we need. So for this, we're going to have a whitelist of the depleted. And we'll turn that on in just a second. So that's fine. And then this will have a filter. Again, doesn't matter which one has which of the perfect ones. So again, filter, whitelist, servo, the depleted, and then finally, same for this. So this is a servo, whitelist that, filter, wait no, other way around. Other way around. So I want to make sure I did it right before I turn any of these on. So the servo is pulling out those, and it can take those in. So basically we're going to have the applied energistic system. So the filter is taking those in, servo is pulling those out. Perfect. And then this will pull out, whitelist those. And now we want to keep, we want to keep 20, let's see, it's 7, 14, 21 of these in here at a time. And then it will, we will need to put that somewhere. So I guess we let this connection be made. And we're going to need to filter. So we're going to need a filter. So let's just destroy that connection for right now. We can filter so that it will only accept, so that it won't accept rather the one thing. So let's get the filter. Oh my gosh, I am struggling today. Doesn't matter which kind. That works just fine. Because all we're going to do is blacklist the completed, which is already gone. So this is going to get a blacklist. And so the uranium probably went, where did it go? It went there. Right, because I took one out. That makes sense. So that part at least works. So we can blacklist this and then make this connection again. And then what we need to do is put a crafting card in here. So now the system knows, hey, craft that stuff. And we should see here soon that this will start working. Now there's one last thing we need to do. And that is we need to put the filter on this guy that he can take the quad depleted. And in order to get this to work, all we need to do is once again say that you can accept the quad depleted. So if we put this guy in here, he should get moved up here, right? No. But that's easy. We just put the servo back there. And we're going to whitelist the quad depleted and ignore, and it should try to take that out whenever this is empty. So if we take this out for right now, should it, there it goes, and then it will take all the stuff out from that and it'll be fine. So just put that in there and that'll work. So the only thing left to do is to actually turn these on, and we should see all of these get kind of depleted, and then they'll get filled back up eventually. But it should only take the depleted fuel rods. That's the biggest thing, is we don't want to take everything out of here. Only the depleted fuel rods. So perfect. And it will start putting those back in, and eventually they'll get filled up. So I'm going to let it run for a little bit. In fact, we're probably going to want to turn this guy on But I'm going to let it run for a little bit, and then eventually things will be good again. Why is it... Ooh, that's an issue. Why are you putting that in there? So that might be an issue. Not entirely sure yet, but we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it, and once it kind of gets taken care of, it should be fine. But we have one there, and it's got to do with the damage values. I just know it. So for example, this should stay there, but unless it's getting placed up here, and it is. Okay, so that's what we want to happen. But for right now, let's go ahead and turn that off. And I will come back and turn it on later. I guess it's working. Okay. But I'm not going to turn the system, I'm not going to turn the nuclear reactors on until everything is done. Apart from this one, but this one should be fine for a while now. So once these guys fill back up, and once I have the surplus down there, then I'll start worrying about it. So the only other thing that we need to do, and this is going to be somewhat of another pain, is we need to... So that's there. So over to... Just break this block. Alright, so those are getting... Okay. So the only other thing we need to do at this point is we need to kind of move this stuff. And I want to start not using scrap, but rather scrap boxes. So that's something else we're going to have to kind of work on. That's going to be kind of tedious, to be honest. It's going to be a lot of the same things we were just doing. So basically what it is, I'm going to make more recyclers. I'm going to have this system set up. Probably just the igneous extruder, not the compacting drawers to get, what, quadruple? We don't even have that many quadruple. It doesn't work all the time. I don't understand why. I know it's the excess, but still. But I'm going to make like 4 more recyclers. And we're going to put them down here somewhere. Probably right in here with all of the cables and everything. And basically send up scrap boxes by using an activator, a cyclic assembler. And we're going to fill this guy with scrap boxes. And then rather than having this guy here, we're going to also pull out the fluid and just pipe it directly over here. And we'll have basically this guy settled right here. And so, yeah. He'll get the fluid ducts or whatever, and I'll probably have to just move this torch. F7, make sure everything's lit up. Put the fluid conduits back here and get them over there somehow. But that's kind of the gist. It's going to take me a little bit of time, but it shouldn't be too bad to do. It's just something I need to get done and finished. So now we don't need to actually worry about having the radioactive suit anymore, because we have everything automated. Oh wait, no, that was right. That was right. So we need to put the suit back on. I was looking at the wrong one. Luckily, they take a little bit to process. But yeah, so with this here, should be fine. Is this starting to get... Nope. So each of these takes 7. We have 2 in that one, none in that one. And this one still's got stuff. So, it will eventually kind of clean up itself. And I think helping it would be to do this, so that it starts pumping in the washed ore. the purified stuff. And yeah, we need upgrades and all that kind of stuff. So, actually going to take some overclockers right now, because this is probably the slowest thing. And that'll help. So, we will get plenty of uranium, and by the end of this, we will have what we need. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We have now automated the nuclear reactors, which means fairly soon we'll be able to automate the Mass Fabricator and just get plenty of UU matter so that we can get more iridium ore, and then we can start actually making stuff. So next time, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do. I do want to see real quick, how many mushrooms do we have? 273. That's not bad. I will go ahead and continue finishing that as well. A large part of what I need to do is just kind of, you know, take rotten flesh, dump it in here or something to get more and more and more and more dirt. Dirt is really kind of the sticking point right now. So I'll have to figure out if there's any other ways we can get plenty of dirt easily. I know we can always use saplings, but we don't have that many. We have a lot of wood, but yeah, so we'll figure something out for next time. We might work with magic a little bit more. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!